Hey everybody, how's it going? Let's talk about then and now. And if you're around my age, which is about 50 something, you know that in laws were something that were part of a package deal when you got married. And I'm going to go into a little bit of my family history. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, had 8 children, miscarried a couple, but then she was beloved. I'm not saying she was perfect, but gosh darn it, she tucked her wings in at night, and that's just the way it was. And so when I got married, I just knew an in law was part of the deal, whether it was a mother in law, father in law, grandma in law, and brother and sister in laws, and so on and so forth. You just knew. You went to family parties, and sometimes you were in the same room with someone that wasn't your cup of tea, but you wanted your children to get to know their family. So it's just something you were a tolerant soul. So you went home and you said, "Oh, thank God that's over," right? So let's just say now your son or daughter has met their person, they got engaged, and your soon to be son or daughter in law doesn't talk to their parents. And they tell you that they were abused and that they had the worst parents in the world and this and that. And maybe they haven't seen their mom in a couple of years or their entire family. And so it's their family tree, their leaves have kind of fallen off that side of the tree, and you think, I wonder why. There's got to be something more to this, but you love your son or your daughter, and you're not going to question it because you know it's not your business. But yet you might want to ask why. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've been disconnected from my mom throughout my entire life, and my husband's disconnected from his dad. But yet when we met and we were going to get married, he met my mom and I met his dad. And we were able to see through clear lenses why each one of us had a disconnect. And then I respected my husband's decision because I know that it's just not healthy. And he also knows there's a fracture on my side and the reason why, and it's because it's just not healthy. But when you get a narrative from a future son or daughter in law about their parents, and you take their word for it, and you do not verify if what they're saying is true, know that if they can cut their parents off, if you do anything that frustrates them or that doesn't align with them, even if it's something simple, let's say it's religion or politics or the, you disagree on what color the rainbow is, there is a possibility that they will cut you off as well. Now, for the most part, I've been told, and I know for a fact I'm a nice person, but my daughter's in-laws, their mother and father-in-laws and this and that, even their spouses, only know what they've been told about me. They don't know truth from fiction because they've never been able to verify if what my daughters are saying is true. So when I say in-law beware, when you get one version of events and nothing else, you better watch out because you may be the next person on the chopping block. And at this time, you may be the only grandparent. Because let's just say you're a mom, you have a son, and he got married, and you have a couple of grandkids, and their other grandma, their daughter in law's mom, has never been involved with your grandkids. What are you going to do one day if your daughter in law, after trashing her mom to you and saying terrible things, decides she wants to reconcile with her mom for whatever odd reason? How are you going to feel with that other person being around your grandkids when you've heard nothing but terrible things about them? So, as much as I would like to say to my daughter's in laws, you're welcome to reach out. We can sit down and have a cup of coffee. We can sit down and go to therapy together to figure out how to navigate this boat. But chances are what you've heard about me, given the fact you don't know me, maybe it is fiction and not fact. So anyways, that's all I've got. I'm not trying to change anyone's mind. But if you are a parent and your son has met a girl and she doesn't talk to her mom, you better figure out why. And I'm letting you know, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. If she cuts you off as well, she might say, I'm done with you, and put your son through a world of hurt if he decides to stay in contact. So anyways, that's all I've got, and I will be back.